Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Between the Thin Blue Line. I am one of your hosts, Ernest. I'm not Ernest Perry.
You Ernest Perry
I'm Ernest
tonight.
Perry. Who are
I'm
you?
Juan Cloy.
Well,
And good evening, everybody. I'm Juan Ernest Perry,
yeah, and I'm Juan
and
Chloe.
thank you. It's been a rough week, and I think we're getting back into it. But we're back, Mr. Cloy. We're back.
Yeah, we are back. Um, as usual, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, but we're just going to talk about a few things uh, fairly in depthly. As you can see, we've expanded our camera view so you guys can see a little bit of what we see. We're thinking about changing the set and changing some other stuff. I'm definitely going to change how soon I get the word out, and we're going to most likely have a new set and just a different format. Still,
Right,
still
right.
between the thin blue line, but we're going to have a lot more guests and probably some notable guests that you all will know of that may be nationally known and
Locally
whatnot,
known, yeah.
and both, yeah, locally and nationally. Because just because you're a nationally known person, that don't mean you the cream of the crop. You just know.
Right.
So,
Everybody just know.
so what are
Just
we
know.
talking about today here, Mister
Well,
Perry?
before we get too deep into it, I know everybody know, and I know you would like to send out your heartfelt thanks to the ones that supported you in your campaign for constable, and that didn't go exactly like we planned. So we're not going to talk about that. Congratulations to the other candidate, and we got a new sheriff in town. So, but uh, just briefly, what you learned from that race?
Ooh, what didn't I learn? I learned number one, politics in that essence is definitely not for somebody with my personality. Um, and I learned that it was a good soul searching tool for me because when I first ran for sheriff, I didn't fully uh, invest myself into the campaign. If I felt like doing something, I'd do it. If I didn't, I didn't. And so this particular one, I did pretty much everything people asked me to do. You all asked me to do. I had a gentleman helping me out that didn't charge me, which was really, really good. And he's been around politics and politicians a long time. And so finally, when I got to sit down and follow all of his advice. The only thing I didn't change, he told me to change my voicemail.
Change your voicemail,
yeah. Just say
Mr.
my
Clark.
whole name instead of just my last name.
Mr. Clark.
Yeah, and I still I didn't do that. So I didn't do it just being defiant. I just like how often do you hear your own voicemail to remind you? But
Right. Just
just
didn't
about
think
everything
about
else I did, and one of the things that I have a great sticking point was church. Y'all got on me about church. I needed to go to church. I needed to go to different churches to see people and to possibly speak at the churches. And I did not want to do that because it was a personal thing for me. I believe it took away from the message and the reason why people came to church rather than just to see me or hear me. So after y'all all jumped on me and y'all are more churchy than I am,
it.
and I
that
mean,
that that probably need to change. But
mhm,
so uh with that with that and all you have learned.
mhm.
So and we let's sum it up. Did you learn the most important thing you learned was what to do better next time or never do it again?
I could probably advise somebody, okay, for a smaller campaign. I could be one of a team of people,
Okay.
but I would not. I would not. I could definitely advise them on one thing, which is when you need a literally an army of people, and I'm not talking about 10 people, right?
Right.
uh, because if somebody comes with you or comes at you with an army, it doesn't matter how many signs you put up. It doesn't matter how many commercials you do. It does not matter how many times you go to the radio station. None of that matters if people have an army of people for one particular goal, whether that goal is fair or not. I'm gonna leave it at that. Fairness is key.
Okay.
Fairness is key for me in anything. First of all, I don't cheat myself in solitaire, and so just being fair. I think one of the reasons why we are where we are now is because we were cheated so much. We get the least of the best. We just get whatever, and so that's why we are where we are right now, and we're going to continue to be there. And we're going to
Right.
talk about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. Well, again, it was a journey. I learned a lot. I really enjoyed working with you. I really hate that we didn't pull this one off. But I think God has bigger and better things. I always say all things work together for good, and that led us right into, even after that, it led us directly into Thanksgiving and things to be thankful for in your
Thankful,
life.
right?
And so I thank God for the opportunity, and I'm sure you do also, because it was a well spent, some great experience, and you met some people, some lot of people, some lot of people. You met a lot
I
of
met
people,
a lot of people,
right?
right? A lot of people.
And so with that being said, it led us right directly into Thanksgiving. And how was your Thanksgiving, man? You have so many things to be thankful for. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was good. I got to sleep. I just like I slept today. I slept a lot today, and I'm still ready to go back to sleep. I got to work out. One of the things I was not able to do, like I wanted to, was to train, because I was always moving. I lost 12 pounds.
That's a good thing or not?
No, not 12 pounds of muscle, and,
It'll be
and
good
muscle
for
and fat.
me if
Like
I
not
could
like I'm this
lose
big old
12 or
giant,
anything. It'll
a
be good for
bodybuilding
me.
dude, but
Fat, muscle,
yeah,
hair, I don't care.
no.
I just need to lose.
But the journey for me, the soul searching, because I felt a lot of times alone. I did a lot of stuff by myself. At times, I put up signs. Um, I did have people help me, canvas and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I still did by myself. One, to save money, too, because a lot of stuff I just like doing it. And so, but again, it was a soul searching journey for me as well. So once I got over that initial ache of staying of the loss, I asked myself, why are those pink glasses?
Huh?
Are those pink?
No, that's not pink.
Oh.
I know you colorblind. That's white and black. That's not pink.
uh, then yeah, I started coming back. So
Uh-oh.
I'm coming back, and I want to be sure that I have something to pass on. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I need you all to chime in, because don't just listen to us. I want you guys to uh, please comment. We welcome your comments 100%. And you can see me here. I'm typing.
Right, right. We are having a conversation,
We're having a conversation, and we're
and
trying to get to the bottom of some things. Okay, and trying to get some of us to
some
start
clarity, some
moving.
understanding.
Yes, we want to start moving. So what one of the things that we want to know is um why aren't we doing more, and um why aren't we being more present, as opposed to just sitting back and watching. So um today I had Ernest, or a friend of mine, Alfred Cooper, asked me to watch this, and I've been wanting to watch this documentary that Will Smith has on a YouTube, right? And it's about his weight loss journey, and getting in the best safe shape of his life is what it is supposedly, but it turns out to be so much more, right? You
Right,
would think it's about that, but once I watched it, I began to realize that it wasn't about that at all. It's about truth within yourself, being truthful to yourself, being honest with yourself, and then letting people see you, just as this open book, just open book. Uh, Failures, fears, funny, you know, and finally your goals, and the journey to complete your goal. Because in the end, did he lose the Did he lose the weight? He didn't lose his goal,
Right. Not this
but
go away.
it was about that journey. So he won. He won.
Right. It was a journey to where he found himself. I
Right.
don't think it was a failure as much it was a newfound I guess win, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, for less of a
Mm-hmm.
better term.
Mm-hmm.
So I like. I love that you sent it to me, and I want to go get his book now. A matter of fact, I probably would download his book when I get back home and read it tonight. But uh, and it was eye opening, especially when a, you want to make a change
Mm-hmm.
within yourself, within your family, within your community, within the world, where you want to make a difference. And it almost took me back to my spiritual journey in trying to define my purpose in life. Why am I here? What God have for me, and just by watching Will through that documentary he was doing, and him just finding himself along with his family, his children, from his first child all the way to his last child,
Mm-hmm.
and the experience, it reminded me of myself a whole lot. Uh, of course, I didn't. Well, I won't even say about the money part, but because believe it or not, we are more fortunate than we think we are.
Yeah, if you're able to watch us on Facebook on a laptop or a phone, you're fortunate because that means you have a phone
Right,
bill, and a
right.
Wi-Fi. You have something. That said, I, in my attempt to be very transparent for you all, because I know people have told me that I come off a certain way, and I'm sure they told you the same thing. But I want you to understand something. The reason why I or you come off a certain way, so this is going to flip to you as well, is that it's something in your childhood that made you act a certain way, made you either funny, made you either angry acting. I said acting. I didn't say you were angry. You could be happy inside, but come off as being angry, or unapproachable, or super tough, or whatever it is, or very approachable. And I'll say this for Will. Will realized that he was funny because he used the comedy to deflect because his father was somewhat abusive and an alcoholic, and he wanted to
Right.
please his father. And so there are things in everybody's childhood past that makes us act the way we act now, and we deal with that, and we've become, at some point you recognize what you're doing, and as you get older you may recognize it and then start to change it, or you may double down on it. I can tell you, for me, I doubled down on a lot of stuff. I realized I was raised up, if you didn't know, in an all white community, and we lived in the only two or three, it was four, it was a cluster of apartments smack dab in the community. Very nice community, but we didn't have much, and I was the only black kid in the community. I was the only black kid in the community. So we had little to nothing, but we had a decent apartment. So I spent my time compensating for what I didn't have by I'm very gifted physically. I can I always tell people I can do everything. I can tumble, I can run, I can jump, I can catch, I can play chess, I can play checkers, I can play go fish, I can play poker, I can horseback ride, I can archery, I can shoot, I can fight, and I double down on it. As a police officer, I double down on it. So when I double down on something, um, I think I was successful at being a police officer because I was just so driven to not lose. So my whole everything that I had centered around losing. It just centered around losing. And so the guys on the street, the bad guys on the street. Even when we were on our narcotics team, I know I pushed some people further than their comfort zone of going, or I was always the one that was looking out, make sure we had everything that we needed, and this and that. Consequently, something else suffered. Right? If somebody on the team may be a not such a great officer, but they may be a great football coach, or maybe a great father, or maybe a great husband. So you got to understand that if you put all of your eggs in one basket, then you ain't gonna have no other eggs in another basket. And so just coming for me to come to grips with, I wasn't the greatest father because I wasn't always home. Wasn't the greatest. I know I wasn't the greatest. I was the greatest son when I was at home, but my mom let me roam the streets. By the way, I used to just roam the streets and play. And so when I grew up, I roamed the streets. I
Yeah.
just roamed the
Yeah.
streets,
Right.
and that's what I did as a child. So that's what I did as an adult.
But you asked the question why we're are we moving and why we're not moving if we're not.
Right.
And it led me to think about I think I told you this before, something my dad had told me. If you're going fast
Mm-hmm.
and you're not getting anywhere, you either stuck in the mud or
Mm-hmm.
you're going in circles.
Right.
Now, if you're stuck in the mud, there's a possibility somebody can see you and help, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can lend a helping hand. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this man's stuck in the mud. Let me go and give him a hand. But if you're going in circle, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't do as a people, and especially men in particular, we don't ask for help. We do not ask for help. We think we got everything under control.
Mm-hmm.
When we lost, we driving. You could be driving with your family, and you be lost. Okay, I'm okay. Well, I know where I'm going. We fail to ask for help. I think that's one of the reasons why we're not moving. And then on the other hand, if you're stuck in the mud, we are not lending a hand to people that need it.
So we're stuck in the mud in this community.
You think
We're
we're stuck in the mud?
to be honest with you, we're stuck in the mud in this entire country. But as it relates to this community,
So that means we're not lending a hand to those are that are not stuck in the mud. Are you helping those are that are?
those that are not stuck in the mud, I think, and I say this in all sincerity, are either A, burnt out, or B, just in a routine. They're just doing it as a routine because
Right?
they
That
see they have no assistant. And
got their blinders on.
right. And so when you plan to help, by the way, those of us, whoever you are, whoever plans to help, if you plan to help somebody or a group of people for an extended period of time, you better plan strategically for burnout. Plan for burnout. And so planning for burnout means you don't have to plan to be burnt out. What you need to plan for is to have some assistance.
Right. What you're gonna do when you get to that exhaustion?
Right.
What you get to
But you
that
don't even want to
point?
get to that moment. You
Right.
want to make sure you have assistance so you don't get to that moment.
Somebody tap in.
Right.
I got you. I got you.
Right. So you don't even want to get to burnout.
That's 6 man.
You want to have 6 man, 7 man. And I think I've been guilty of this as well. Have not, even though I knew I should have planned for burnout, I didn't do it. I know with COJ, Citizen of Jackson Group, I was getting burned out. I was already working a lot, and then I'm going out late at night dealing with people, with guns in unsavory areas. Um,
Right.
it was a good thing we did, but I got burned out real fast. Got burned out real because that was stressful for me. The stress level was there because when you're around uh 40 people and all of them have guns and they in and out of gas station, they're moving, it's the music, and it's people smoking weed, people using drugs, people selling drugs, there's homeless people there, it's drug addicted people there, it's people high there, it's guns everywhere. Man, that is stressful. That is stressful. And for somebody
It
like
is.
me, I couldn't, my head was on a swivel, 24/7. So um you got to plan for burnout. But the question is, with everything going on and everything we have going on, why aren't we doing anything? I mean, not just me and you. I'm talking about like people there that are watching. Why are we just going? Oh, look at those people in down on in South Jackson. I was talking to somebody yesterday who lives in North Jackson. They were like, I ain't going to South Jackson. I live in South Jackson, by the way, if you didn't know. Right.
Hmm.
So what what what? It's like what?
So
How
I
do we
like,
think we're gonna? This is gonna we gonna snap our fingers? And everything gonna get better? Who's gonna make it better?
well, I think, and I thought hard yesterday. I happened to,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, went to a funeral. One of my uncles,
Go ahead. I'm having
and
to entertain Cam.
and uh, and I kind of reflect back on life, and and I was just thinking, even with everything that's going on and things that you want to change, and your question is, what are we doing and why we're not moving and why there's not a change or what are we waiting on? You had a whole lot packed into that question, but in reality, uh, there is powers that be, and there are uh, people that's in control right now
Mm,
in certain areas, and particularly for what we, from our vantage point, let's go with law enforcement,
mm-hmm.
and let's say let's go even beyond. When we can come back to the sheriff department, I mean the police department in a minute, but let's go to the sheriff department,
Mm-hmm.
and we see the crime and homicide and the kids going wild, and I think that's one of you and our main passion that we see that and there need to be a change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we see that there need to be a change. We feel that. I think uh, you said it earlier that they're stuck in the mud, and we know it.
Who's stuck in the mud?
Let's say the county, the sheriff department, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm getting to the point where I'm talking about me. Uh, have we offered to get them out the mud? Have we offered to lend a helping hand, or are we just being Monday morning quarterbacks and saying what they should be doing or what they're doing wrong? I think this is our opportunity because there's a new sheriff in town, is to reach out and say, look, how can I help? What do you need me to do? This is the value that we bring to you, and we're willing to assist you in any way necessary.
And are
What
are
can
you
we
are
do?
you mentioning the sheriff because that
It's new.
entity is, although it is funded by the citizens of Hinds County, and for whatever reason we think the supervisors don't control the sheriff's department, so the sheriff can do pretty much what he wants within reason, and he doesn't have a mayor over him like the chief has. Right? He doesn't
Right.
have anybody telling him
Right.
saying
Right.
that you can't do this.
Right.
The sheriff can do what they want to do. That said, um, there's so many things and we're just again we're sticking to the concept of the between the thin blue line, which has to do with law enforcement, and then several just safety, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Um, but there's so many things that can be brought to that particular entity via assistance from the public
Right.
to help with not just a gun unit. I'm not talking about a law enforcement tool. I'm literally talking about outreach and suppression.
Yeah, anything
Anything to
along that that
reduce
that we could do.
violent crime, sex trafficking,
I don't care what it
crime
is.
against people, anything, burglaries. Why? So if we reach out, I'm sure that will be accepted because that shows a communal remedy to what we have going on in the county rather than um, just a law enforcement tool.
Right. Right. And I think that's one of the things going forward. And you mentioned that we're gonna have some guests on the show. I like to get the sheriff, the mayor, the chief on and just openly, publicly offer our assistance, our support. Let them know that we are available to assist them. Here, I'm here. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. Opposed to sit back and be Monday morning quarterback. I'm just
Mm.
kind of tired of that. I really am. So I think that's one way because regardless who you voted for, we got a sheriff, we got uh, a mayor, police chief, and and these are not easy jobs.
Mhm.
It's not easy. It may seem easy. We sit here talking. We may think, okay, yeah, that's easy. They not doing this. So it is so simple. You know how we have these different ideas and stuff like, why nobody is thinking about this? So these are not easy occupations. These are not easy jobs. They are very, very hard. And like you said earlier, they are stressful. And being a competitive person, they can be downright rigorous,
Mhm.
if you will. So I think they need assistance. I really do. And that's the only thing I think that's the only way we can make this thing move because we are not in a position. We don't have that. We're not the chief. We're not the mayor. We're not the supervisor. We're not the senators. We're not the Congress. We're not the we're not. All we are is, and if you really look at it, Juan, uh, we have more power almost than they do.
And that's been my point. Aha, aha. That's
But
been my point.
but
But,
what we are doing is trying to put pressure point on them. You see
hmm,
what I'm saying? I think that's what we've been doing, trying to put pressure on them to do what they're supposed to do, opposed to take them by the hand and say, or not necessarily take them by the hand. I'm not trying to be no Monday morning quarterback,
mhm.
or just look. How can we help? How can we help? How can we help? We are here to help. How can you? Where do you want me to go?
But it has to be enough of you to say, and we just saw, if it's not enough of you, you're not going to get. In some circles, uh, you won't get
I,
feedback from any particular entity.
I
It's
don't
got to be
know.
enough.
I
So,
think me and you or I or any one person can go and say, "What can I do?" It may not. This is almost like you always say, eating an elephant one bite at a time. And then I
right.
think it'll flow, but it have to start somewhere.
So,
That's my take on it. I'm gonna be quiet.
so if it starts with you, so Maurice writes, what is change? Change means there has to be a transformation, right? Transformation means turning into something different. How many really want to transform? So, how many people really want to transform uh, a portion of their brain, a portion of their life, and realize that um, it is something that you can do about where you live and how you live? You know, it's something you can do about where you work. You just get another job. You don't work there no more. You work somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So again, going back to what you said or what I was trying to allude to with you, we gave away our power. We give away our power every time we vote. Every time we vote, we give away power because we're saying with our power, this guy's gonna do what I need him to do, or this lady's gonna do what I need her to do. And then if they don't do it, if they don't do it enough, if they can't do it, if whatever happens, the reason why things don't get done and things obviously get worse, we wait and we go, well, in another 4 years, I'm gonna get somebody else. And those
Right.
4 years start stacking up, and next
Right.
thing you know, it's 50 years later.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
60. It's 60 years later,
Right. So
and
I think it's about time to have that conversation, for us, um, with the powers that be. We can sit here and talk. It's about time to sit down with the powers that be and have that conversation. Not no competitive
so
conversation. Not
right,
no
yeah,
fight.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Just
organized. You're saying
right.
an orchestrated, organized conversation with whoever,
Whomever,
whomever they may be.
whomever they may be.
But it's got to be enough. You do know people. Certain people only move, and certain entities only move when there's power behind them, or numbers behind them.
I
Right?
understand.
People
Right.
move with numbers. People move with numbers.
They
Uh,
move with numbers, or they move with I don't know what the word is. I was finna say notoriety.
that's true too.
They
But you
move
know what?
if a
Notoriety comes in
significance.
numbers, though.
They move with significant. If a significant enough person can go to them and say, "How can I help you?" And I feel like I'm significant enough to go to any law enforcement entity and say, "Look, this is my value. How can I bring value to you?"
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm significant enough for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's not accepted, if not taken, uh, I don't know if it may not be presented properly or what have you, but if it's not taken, then we have another problem. But if you're stuck in the mud
But
and I come and say, all I want to do is push you out the mud, for you not to accept my assistance, I don't know. We got a problem.
well, I don't want to talk about that. I
Okay.
want to talk about you.
Okay.
I want to talk about us
Okay.
because I want to talk about nobody else
Well, I was
that
just
may have a
saying,
problem.
right,
We
right.
need
Don't
see
let that discourage you. So what
right.
I was saying, okay,
What we need to be focusing on is ourselves
right,
and why we do what we do. And once we get past that and get on the right foot, then we can go push out forward. But I think that if we don't focus on why we watch the 6 o'clock news and everybody does the same exact thing, we talk about the story, we hear about the story, we pray about the story, we send money to the GoFundMe page for the little child that got killed in the car, and then we politely fade off into the sunset. We do it. So when we see people suffer, why are we so non-empathetic to the point of no movement? Again, I didn't say we were non-empathetic. I'm saying we're non-empathetic to the point of no significant movement. So this won't happen again. Or this
I,
very few times. It'll happen very few times. It'll happen to where we can explain it away. Because I can tell you right now, all we have now is in not just in this city, but in other cities, is young men shooting in people's houses and cars, not knowing who they're gonna hit, not having a clue. And it just happened last weekend where two girls got shot in the back. Two girls got shot, and they
right,
weren't the intended target.
right.
And this happens all the time. So these young men are brandishing these weapons, and they will shoot in your car. If you have a car, we had a young lady where I work, they shot up her car, and that was the wrong car totally. Thank God she didn't get hit.
It's bad. It's really bad. But
It's bad, but we're watching it. That's the bad part. It's bad that it happens, yeah. But the worst part is
that's
supposedly
your
the competent
listen,
people.
listen. See, your police competitive,
No,
athletic
no,
mentality is kicking in.
no.
It's kicking in hard
Wait,
because
don't
you're talking
don't
for
don't let
the.
me tell you something. You turn around and try to use it against me
I'm
now.
not
Don't
trying
you done went
to
down there.
use
Your
it.
police aesthetic competitive is kicking in.
It is because Most people are not law enforcement. Most people can't go and stop this type of stuff going on. You see what I'm saying?
But
Most
we
people.
can. I'm not talking about stop it today. I'm not talking about doing a law enforcement move. I'm talking a communal move to where this stuff stops.
But the thing about it though, and I want you to understand this. I really want you to understand this. Nobody feels the way you feel in the whole world. And
So you're
what
telling me that these people watching all nine,
not
we done
exactly.
gone from 14 to 8 to 7 to 9.
I know. No, what I'm
Nobody
saying,
feels
not
like
exactly. No,
nobody
they
feels
have their
like this.
own feeling. What I'm saying, they feel a
Y'all
certain
don't
way.
feel like that, like I feel. Y'all
No,
don't feel
they
like me
they
then.
have their own
Yes, I do.
feeling. You follow me? They have their own feeling.
So what are their feelings? What
They
do you think?
probably feeling similar to what we're feeling or
Mm-hmm.
what you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but they have each person have to satisfy their own feelings. What make them feel good about themselves? What make you feel good about yourself to say, today I did something to make the world better, to make Jackson better. It's all a self, and I got this from Will Smith. This
Mm-hmm.
documentary sent.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about we're so busy trying to take care of everybody else and not dealing with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
What make I mean, what have you done to satisfy your anxiety towards what's happening in uh Jackson? Don't think about what people need to do or what we could be doing. What one Claude has done to satisfy your anxiety to what's going on in Jackson.
So you're saying self-care?
Self-care. That's where all of this have to start with self-care because everybody feel you may feel I may be cold, but you may be cold a different kind of way. You know, your feet may get cold and my ears get cold. You see what I'm saying? But we're cold. So I can't go and put socks on and expect my ears to get cold. I mean warm. You know, and you can't go and put an earmuff on and expect your feet to get cold. But we are cold. So we are feeling the same anxiety. But I can't say, well, let's go. Come on, Claude, let's go. We got to go do this. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, come on, let's go. Let's go warm my ears. Come on, man. It's bad out here. It's cold. So so we have to really concentrate on self preservation.
So I think that's what a lot of people are doing, self-preserving themselves, and they're not putting themselves out there. I think they are self-preserving themselves to a point. I think I don't think I don't agree with Maurice, so to say, so to speak. He says because we must possess power in order to deal with this generation. We must possess power to deal with this generation. Maybe deputizing organizations like you all so you can go into the schools and the streets to assist. And that's not what I'm not talking about that per se. I am, but I'm not. I'm talking about literally everybody watching and going about our daily business like nothing is happening around us. And then we don't do it. So let me change it around another way. We don't do anything until something happens directly to us, and then we do it. So the organization that people have where there's an organization of people who have suffered uh, their loved ones have been murdered. That's an actual organization. So we're not going to be in that until somebody gets murdered, and we're not going to do anything until somebody gets murdered. So that's what I'm saying. So why do we have to wait till somebody gets murdered? And I'm just using that as one example, by the way. Just that's just one example. Why are we so slow to react? And should I just move? Yeah.
I figured
Do
that
I?
was gonna come up. I don't know why I just figured that was gonna come up
Because I've
somewhere.
been places to where people do stuff. It drives me crazy. It's like I'm in this place and these people are doing stuff. It's a 500,000 people live in this city. They had 99 homicides and they are upset and they are angry to the point that where they're doing stuff. They're giving their pro mayor hell. They're giving their pro. They done been through 3 or 4 police chiefs. They ain't playing,
Yeah,
right?
but
And
is that working though? Is it working?
apparently, it's something. They're doing
3
something.
police chiefs giving a mayor hell. Is
When
that
when
is
they
that
have
helping?
when they
You
have a
think that's
police
working?
chief, when they have a police chief, they have the citizens actually interview the chief. They have like him go. It's like a
Yeah, but how many people say, "Hey, chief, I
hey.
am retired. Can I come up there and volunteer
I don't
and
know.
answer
I
phones?
don't
Or
know.
can I come up and volunteer and do a callback, a cold case callback?"
I couldn't tell you. I do
You
know
know what I'm saying?
that the particular department, they have things that are outside of the purview of policing that the police do. They have list of food banks for people who are homeless, shelters. They have speed people on speed dial for people that they see in the streets. So they go out and do things that are not quote unquote police related.
Now, that's what needs to be done. If somebody have that type of resource, those type of resources need to be offered up because obviously either two things, either the city, the police department, the sheriff department are too busy to have anybody to go out and solicit that type of assistance, or they don't know. And I'm gonna take the they're too busy. I'm not gonna
And
say
I
they
won't
don't
take
know.
that. I will never take. I'm too busy. That means you too busy to do your job.
No, I mean the short staff. The short staff and all of that. Now you got to
Who?
take that in consideration.
Who short staff?
The sheriff department, the police department, the city,
Well,
they're
that's
short
short
staff.
staff for a reason.
I understand that. So what I'm saying is, if you have those type of resources, are you
So
offering those
let me give
resources
you
up?
this example. If you take off 3 of your tires, if I say Perry, come pick me up from the airport, and you take off 3 of your tires and roll them down the street, and you say I can't come pick you up, and I say why you got a tire? Yeah, but I got a car. Yeah, but you just took off 3 of your tires, so you can't come to pick me up. Who fault is it that you took off your tires? Who fault is?
See,
Who
you
fault
going
is?
back,
Wait,
you
let me
going.
finish. Let me finish this analogy. This is
That's
this. I'm gonna
crazy.
draw
That's
this
about
picture
so
for you.
crazy. I
Who
promise you,
fault is
man.
it that you took off your tires? Who
If
fault
I
is
took
it?
off my tire, why did I take off my
No,
tires? Do
who
you
fault is
care?
it?
Do you care why I took off my tires?
I don't care because I
No,
just need
all
you to
you want to do is get
pick
picked
me
up,
up.
and that's there lies the
Yes.
problem.
So you
There
took
lies
off the
the
tire.
problem.
Wait, you took off the tires. You can't come pick me up, right?
Why did I take off my tires? That's what I want you to understand. I just didn't take off my tires because I like to see what the tires look like. Obviously, something was wrong with the tires. So
No, wasn't nothing wrong with the tires.
that's what you
It was
thinking.
something wrong with you.
See, you going back
so
quarterback, and I told that's that
so I
competitive
need
in you.
to
You need to
call another
one, you need to
ride.
get out of that
But
competitive.
my point is
Let's get to
my point is this. So I can't keep messing with you. I gotta call another ride.
why you had to call another ride? Why can you call somebody who got 3 tires and come and help me?
Because why did you take your tires off the car from the start?
See that now you're trying to go into the cause of the problem opposed to the problem. The problem is I need tires.
But we got to go into the cause because we're gonna
We'll
keep
deal
running
we'll
into the
deal with that
problem
later. Right
again.
now, you need to get picked up. You understand what I'm saying?
I
And this is a good
I
analogy.
got that, but the
Right
next
now, you
time
need
I
to
need,
get picked up.
but I
But you
got
got a
that.
friend
I
over
got that.
here that got a tire shop. Hey man, I don't know why this man took his tires off his car. I have no idea. I think he losing his mind. But look, can you take him 3 tires so he can come and get me from the airport? That's the type of mentality we need, opposed to trying to figure out why this man took off his tire. That's not getting us nowhere because you still stuck at the airport. We still got
I'm not
babies.
gonna be stuck at the
We
airport.
still got babies out here getting killed. So we can't try to figure out, well, why the police not doing anything, especially when I have the resources over here to help the police department.
But my point is this: the resources that you have
There you
are
go. There
wait.
you
Let me
go
finish. Let me
again.
finish. The
Okay.
resources that you have are gonna be all for naught because you still got the same thing going on. You got to fix the root of the problem. Not throw more. We can't. we can't keep throwing water on the fire. We got, hey, somebody told me that somebody told me, you already know what I'm gonna say. Somebody told me that it's man's job to pick up people as they come out the stream. He downriver, he picking up the people that come out the stream. That's his job. And he don't know why these people keep jumping, keep appearing in this stream. So rather than going upriver to stop them people from jumping in the stream, he's got job security down at the bottom of the stream that's plucking them people out the water. So we needed somebody to go up the stream to figure out
Why they keep jumping
why
in?
and get them out of the stream. And don't even put them, don't let them go in the stream.
That's true.
So
That's true also.
but I get what you're saying. It's two schools of thought.
Okay.
But at this point, we're in the situation where we have to collectively go out and do things to the point to where we almost have to, this is me now, ignore certain powers that be. Fondren just ignores certain powers that be, right? They just say, hey, guess what, guys? We need this done. So I think we need to go do this. And they get with their council person, okay, we're going to put this on the books. Hey, we raised $500,000 to get State Street fixed or this or that street fixed. Let's go do that. We raised $1 million to get a fence around XYZ place. Let's go tell the board we're gonna go do this. That So right now, what you have now in the city is you've gotten the state capitol police. They're not the state capitol police anymore. They've beefed up. They're literally downtown police. They go to Eastover. They're in Eastover. What you doing in Eastover? Right, Eastover is not in the capital. Right, they're in Eastover working. They're where else? Then you got, I think, universities police got either got deputized or getting deputized. So basically, what they're doing is they've literally taken the responsibility from the city of Jackson because the city of Jackson's police force is so decimated, and eventually we had one incident where they had a shooting downtown, and the police were downtown. The Capitol Police, I think, arrived on scene first, if I'm not mistaken. I might be getting this wrong, and they didn't do anything. I think they were trying to defer. The other thing is a lot of times this is new for a lot of these guys. They go to the Capitol be police officers. They don't really know what to do. They came from So Mississippi or from the UMC. You can't go from working at UMC or JPS as a police officer to work in a homicide. That ain't happening. That dog ain't gonna hunt. But eventually it will work because you're going to have some seasoned officers working at these, more seasoned officers working at the Capitol being police officers, because you have some now already, but they're kind of in upper command. So again, the question why we aren't doing anything, or should we just, I've been told, Juan, you just wasting your time talking to them people. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. They're gonna do what they do. Get your family and move out. My ex-classmate told me the day after the election won, just come on to Houston, get your family and pack on up and come to Houston. And that's what was told to me.
On flight.
My other friends say all the time, Juan, why aren't you in California? Come to LA. Why you don't want to move? They have asked me, why don't you want to move?
Bigger elephants to eat in LA, bro. That's all I'm telling you. Because of your passion. You're just gonna be trying to eat bigger elephants. You're gonna get to LA and it's gonna be a lot worse for you because that's your competitiveness. I think wherever you go, I think you're gonna have that passion to make things better.
But my point for telling you about the competitiveness and all that other stuff was to get over that. So get beyond that. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to have to compete, and if I lose, be bummed. I don't want to hurt myself. My thing was, I used to say I'm gonna hurt myself winning.
But it's
I'm
okay.
gonna win,
sometimes
but I'm gonna be
it's
hurt.
Okay to lose, though. Sometimes I know that's kind of hard for you to
yeah. You saw I got fidgety when
I see you like
started kicking my leg.
I'm gonna shoot this man right here.
but
no, it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. Right. Sometimes it's okay.
It is okay.
Sometimes when you lose, you're winning. Okay, Will said that he didn't lose his weight, but he ended up winning. So it's okay.
You're right, because you learn the lesson.
You learn.
It's about the journey. It's about the journey.
It's about the journey. Because if you win all the time, you gonna think it's all you. You don't think it's got nothing to do with no how I been.
You want to, you're right. I mean, even when I was on the SWAT team and we won the first time we ever won the SWAT, yeah, I have to excuse me, the SWAT competition ever that JPD ever won, and they had been at I don't know how many. And I told them we went against like 30 SWAT teams, and we were on the bubble, and we were like number 1 and 2 with the MHP. And one of the guys looked at me. He was like, I don't know, looking kind of rough. I looked at him and I cursed. I said, "Oh no, we're gonna win. We're gonna win." I said, "If I have to hurt myself," and I did, but we won. Now, the satisfaction of winning was fine. The aftermath of winning was fine, but that injury is still on my shoulder. I still have that scar on my shoulder.
On your shoulder.
So,
Was it worth it
was it worth it?
for the moment?
I think it was worth it for the attitude of the team. And that takes me to segues me back to this right here. Once you start winning, once you realize that you don't have as many homicides and you don't have as many shootings, people's attitudes change. People's attitudes change. My football team just today, we were texting with our football coach, Coach Blackman. When we broke that 25-year losing streak at Provine in 1980, 81, the whole school attitudes changed. And since back in the 80s, we have not lost like that. We've never had that losing season. Literally, we lost every game. And so it's an attitude shift. And our attitudes now are defeated. We're defeated. Just like in the country, the attitude of the country is Democrats versus Republicans. Democrats versus Republicans. Democrats versus Republicans. Somebody said that to us for 4 years. And so if you're a Republican and your president is a Republican, then he's a great guy. Cam, go back over there. Go back over there. But if you're a Democrat and your Republican, I mean, your president is a Democrat, well, then he's a great guy. And you're a great group of people, you Democrats. But it's so ridiculous because we still all live in the same doggone country and we still suffer the same way.
Right. Right.
But one person, literally one person, Donald Trump, literally changed the attitude of the entire country. One person, dude. Do you know what I'm saying? One man changed the entire, not the entire country, the entire world looks at the United States. We're a laughing stock now because of one person. So if one person can do that, surely a few people, 50 people in Jackson can change the attitude of the entire county. Surely at least 50 people can change the attitude. We've got to change our attitude. We got to change our attitude.
We have to change our attitude. There's no doubt. But and it started with me. It started
It
with you.
started with me.
And once we do that, I think we could see an overall change. But
Yeah.
if you go back through history, though, man, it seems like we're fighting the same old battles, just a different day, or just something. It's something different. It's always something. They go back from civil rights to segregations to Jim Crow. I mean, it's always seemed like now police brutality. It's crime, black on black crime. It's homicides now in Jackson. I mean, it's always back in 94, 92. It was the bad crack epidemic. Uh, and it was a preacher said, "It's one thing." if we one thing we learn from history is that we find out that we don't learn from history. That's one thing history taught us. that we do not learn from history. So, but I think we need to just trust in God just a lot more than what we're doing, and put all of our, I guess, strength and uh, faith in God. That's all I can say.
Are we gonna do anything though when we do that too? Because
We
you think God gonna require us to do some things?
Oh, it's gonna have to be some works,
Yeah,
but we have to listen and tell and follow Him. He gonna have to guide us. We can't depend on ourselves. We definitely gonna have to listen
right.
and follow Him. But we're gonna have to work. But I don't think we're trying to depend on our own strength, and that's why we're not moving. We have to depend on the strength of God.
Well,
My
as
wife
you
got
can
a flat.
see, I've started the music.
Yes,
It's
yes, yes.
7:59.
I know,
Can you
I
hear
know,
that?
and I
See if you can hear that on you. We've been having. I don't know what's going on with this. We can't hear the music. I used to be able to hear the music. I can't hear it at all, so I can't tell you if it's playing or not. I see it playing on the screen, but
somebody need to let us know if it's playing. Huh?
you can listen to it on your phone. Yeah, I don't hear it, so I don't know what's
It's not
going
playing.
on. Maybe one of these days, I need a sound,
A technician. We
a
need an
sound
engineer, a
technician,
sound
an
engineer.
engineer. When we change this
Anybody
set,
out there, please help
uh,
us.
we're gonna change this set, and we're gonna do a lot of other stuff. And I might not be the one posting the stuff on Facebook and YouTube that telling you about the upcoming show. Maybe somebody else. So again, we're doing this because we just want you all to go over there before you get in trouble. Go keep walking. Yeah, about to see Cam get in trouble. Y'all ain't gonna like it. Uh, but you'll be able to just see us do this, talk, and not work 100 things and this and that. But um, again, we appreciate the participation, Maurice, Denise, Easley.
Yeah, Denise got a flat. I need to get on outside right quick, brother.
Uh, Somebody took her tires off her car.
Yeah, you start talking about them tires, man. Now I'm in trouble. I'm
Yeah,
some
you might
bad
need to
trouble. She
go.
got 3
So
tires.
again,
She got 3
Jackson, we love you, appreciate you.
God
Hines County,
bless.
whatever, uh, the country, the world. Be careful. Wear your mask. Sanitize your hands regularly. We got this Omicron virus out
Yes,
now, and
yes,
I guess it's a
yes. And I
transformer or
know
something.
we had a lot of scattering remarks, but we'll be more organized next week.
We're gonna be all right.
But
I'm still tired, so
we kind of frustrated with these scattered remarks. But we had a great conversation. Thank y'all.
all right. Good night.